Hello world, this is your guy Guitar K, and today we're going to be talking about lust. Come on, man. It's one of the 7 deadly sins, man. Lust, man. Look, don't be guided by lust, man. Look, back in the day, Babyface had a song called Whip a Pig. And if you don't know what it's about, he's talking about a brother that's controlled by his sexual urges. He follows the booty wherever it goes. Look, man, when you got it by lust, you're in a weakened state. When you got it by lust, you make bad decisions. When you got it by lust, you make poor choices, man. Look. Let's look at the definition of lust just so we can set this thing off the way it's supposed to be set off. Here we go, man. Lust. Very simply, a very strong sexual desire. It's a verb. Have a strong sexual desire for someone. Come on, man. Come on, man. Look, don't be guided by your sexual desires. Now, I know we all have them. And I know that they're in there. And I know that sometimes it's hard to resist the temptations because there's so much out here right now. I'm talking about the billboards, the commercials, the movies, the social media. I mean, it's everywhere. But what I'm saying is you need to learn to control your lusts, control your sexual desires. Don't let them control you. Because when you do let them control you, you're going to always be out of pocket. You're going to always find yourself on the bad end of certain situations. Look, man, you got to learn to desexualize your mind. And I mean, this has to be intentional because I mean, a lot of brothers be walking around there and they don't even know that they just lusting off of everything. I mean, you don't even have to open your mouth to be in lust. It could be in the way you walk. It could be it's especially in your eyes when you're looking at the females. I mean, you're looking crazy, bruh. And it's not like they don't notice this energy that you're getting off. You can't even have a regular conversation with a female because every word that you're looking for, you're trying to twist the conversation into something sexual, something crazy, something that is not. Stop, man. That's somebody's mother. That's somebody's sister. That's somebody's daughter. Look, man, these females are human beings. Stop running around here looking at them like they pieces of meat, man. You running around here like you back in the caveman time, like you got a club over your shoulder, like you're looking to just wait for one of them to turn around so you can strike them over the head and drag them back to your cave, man. Look, stop being guided by lust, man. Like I said, man, a lust-guided mind. Look, you don't even understand what you're doing to yourself, man. You're selling yourself short. You're selling yourself short on real connections. You're selling yourself short on real friendships. Look, man, the only thing that your mind on 24/7 is sex. You're in a dangerous position, man. That's like a diseased mind. That's like something that can't focus. You're out of focus. You're only thinking about one thing. And trust me, that one thing ain't the only thing out here in the world. You're missing out on so much other things that's in females. Like I said, just conversation, just regular friendship, just real connection, just the general building up of each other. The only thing you're thinking about is, can I get the drawers? Can I get that? Can I get this? Look, man, stop it. Stop being guided by lust today, man. I'm telling you, it's running amok. It's everywhere. Look, and if you're guilty of it. If the only time, look, man, I could be having a conversation with somebody. We could be talking about something rather serious. Let a piece of booty walk by. They done completely zoned out. They're going to be talking about some life-saving information here, but they're not worrying about saving their life. They're not worrying about bettering themselves. All they're worrying about is the next girl they can hit. And then when something happens and they find themselves in a situation, like prison, jail, debt, all the things that only chasing sexual desires tend to lead men to, they wondering what happened. You got to be intentional about this thing, man. You can't let the lust guide you. You got to get control of it, man. You got to focus. Look, man, when you're only focusing on sex, you're not focused. You're out of control. You're intoxicated with lust. Being intoxicated with lust is just as bad as being intoxicated with alcohol. It's just as bad as being intoxicated with drugs. I'm telling you, you make bad decisions. You spend money you're not supposed to spend. You be in areas you're not supposed to be in. You turn on your friends. You turn on your relationships. You burn bridges. All the same things that anybody do when they doing bad behaviors is the same things that people do out of lust, man. You need to turn away from these things, man. Men that's only thinking about sex, they tend to talk down on other men. They always got to be walking around with their chest poked out. They got to talk down on other men and always saying things to pump up their own egos and prides, man. You know, and then when they get by themselves, they ain't doing nothing but watching porn. You know, scrolling through Instagram, scrolling through Facebook. But then when they get around other women, they knocking down men. Like, yeah, I know he ain't this and he ain't that, but I'm this and I'm that. No, bruh. And the crazy thing is, they know what you're doing. It's no secret. Everybody can see it. Look, man, when we, us that's in recovery, you know, we talk about back when we was in our active addiction that we were reduced to animalistic behaviors. Look, man, that lust thing looks the same way. It looks like animalistic behaviors. You ever seen a cat in heat or, you know, an animal that's in heat? That's how you look 24/7 when you got it by lust. But you think that nobody knows what your agenda is. You think that nobody don't know what's the only thing that's on your mind. It comes out in your speech. It comes out in your actions. We can tell that the only thing you're thinking about is sex all the time, man. You need to stop it, man. When people that's only thinking about sex, they're not them real selves. Everything they do and say is an act. It's all smoke and mirrors. They can't have no real genuine relationships. They can't have no real authentic friendships because the only thing they're really thinking about is sex. And they will break commitments. They will break obligations. They will turn away from what they're supposed to be doing on the drop of a dime. Soon as sex get involved, man. And I know that y'all done seen this thing. All their moves are driven by sex. You know, if you're talking about going somewhere, the first thing they say is there gonna be girls there. You talk about a movie that's good. I mean, does it got any girls in it? I mean, what she look like? I mean, what the body like, bruh? What do you look like? What do your body look like? I mean, you're so focused on everything else. Man, you don't take no time to focus on yourself. You don't take no time to build yourself up. Get your own thing going. Then let everything else that's on the outside, build on yourself on the inside, man. When you're chasing lust all the time, you're not doing no work on yourself. You just don't have time for it. So all they talk about, man, is she sexy, bruh? Are you sexy? Come on, man. Stop being guided by lust all the time, man. Look, man, if screwing is your number one priority in life, don't be surprised when life screws you. Because, I mean, you're going to get what you go after. You get what you put into life. And if the only thing you're thinking about is screwing all the time, you're probably just going to end up with a bunch of kids, some sexually transmitted diseases, a bunch of toxic relationships, some relationships that you done messed up and burnt bridges and cheated and all the things that lust lead to, man. This is a real topic that people don't like to talk about, but you see it going on all the time. People that are guided by lust is real. And I mean, even industries know this. Sex sells. They put sex in everything, in cartoons, in toys, everything, man. And the people just going along acting like we don't notice this thing, man. Look, the only way to stop it is at the source, is at the root. If everybody stopped walking around being so guided by lust, man, the world would be more imbalanced. This world is at a overly sexually imbalanced, man. Everything is geared towards sex. Everything is geared towards looking at porn and looking at these girls on Instagram that's half naked with all the fake bodies and the fake this and fake that. Is anything real anymore? No real relationships, no real connections, just sex, 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 sex. Look, man, I remember I was at work one day. There was a much younger lady, and we was listening to that song, by World Class Record Crew, before you turn out the lights. And she was like, what's this lame shit you talking about? Why you gotta turn out the lights and all of that? That's some bullshit. Just come in and hit it. Come on, man. Whatever happened to courting? Whatever happened to real connection, meeting somebody? All this social media and DM me and come over and hit it on the first night, man. This world is over-sexualized, and it got lust running at an all-time high. Everything is lust. All the videos, all the music is just lust, lust, lust. And if you're guided by lust, man, you cannot be at your best. You can't reach your full potential being guided by lust. Your life is going to definitely be out of balance. It's definitely going to be unmanageable. And your mental health is going to be crazy. Your physical health is going to be crazy because you're not taking the time to pour into yourself, because you're pouring all your efforts and all your energy into trying to chase sex all day. Look, man, Don't be guided by lust, man. Get a grip. Be guided by your passions and purposes in life. Get some hobbies. Do some self-studying, some self-reflection. Build your skills up and all of that. And like I said, this is not to knock sex. I know sex is part of life. But like I said, it's part of life. Sex is not life. Don't be guided by sex, man. Because when you're guided by sex, you're going to be majorly lacking in other parts of your life. Again, this is your guy, Guitar K. I ain't going to be guided by sex today, man. I'm going to get out here and learn some new things. I'm going to get out here and build up my spirit, build up my physical, and build up my mental. Sex is not at the top of the list. This is your guy, Guitar K. Be more